This is current affairs analysis for 19th February 2019 and I am Shantanu. The first important news from today's paper was the Indian History Congress is going to be held in Bhopal. Earlier it was supposed to be held at Savitribai Phule Pune University, but they backed out due to financial reasons, and now Bhopal is going to host it. About Indian History Congress, it is the largest professional and academic body of the Indian historians. It was established in the year 1935 and its first session was held at Bharat Itihas Sanshodhak Mandal at Pune. Datto Bhaman Potdar Surendranath Sen attended the first session. It was not held in these three occasions: on 1942 due to the Quit India movement, in 1962 due to the Indo-China War, and in 1971 due to the Indo-Pakistan War. This year it will be the 79th session of the India History Congress. So moving on to the next important news, it is the second summit between United States and North Korea. It is going to be the last 2 days of February this year at Hanoi, which is in Vietnam. This is in continuation of the first summit, which was held in Singapore last year June, and to overcome the long-term Korean conflict with ICBM nuclear weapons. ICBM stands for Intercontinental Ballistic Missile. In this one, North Korean Chairman Kim Jong-un will meet US President Donald Trump, and in 2018 three important things was agreed over. First one is the security guarantee for the North Korea, new peaceful relation between the two Korean countries and United States together, denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula. 2018 Winter Olympics game was held in Korea, South Korea, and Korea was divided into two parts, South Korea and North Korea, in the year 1945, and 5 years after that, that is 1950, the Korean War starts. However, there was no peaceful resolution after the war. Now we need to know a few points regarding the intercontinental ballistic missile. Definitely it is guided ballistic missile. That means you need to provide a target for this, and this missile will hit that particular target. The minimum range for the ICBM is 5500 km. It was first used by the Nazi Germany to attack New York, and the project was known to be Project America. So these are the three important things. It is guided ballistic missile, minimum range 5500 km, and first used by the Nazi Germany to attack New York. Ballistic means it is a curved path traversed by any object if we throw that near Earth's surface, and it happens under the action of the gravity. It was first shown by Galileo Galilei. Next important news is Aero India. It is going to be organized in Bengaluru, Yelahanka Air Force Station at Bengaluru. Mainly this Air Force Station is used to train the pilots to fly transport planes. Moving on to the next important news, there was a petition regarding the Government of India's recent notification that the satellite channels should not use the word Dalit, rather they need to use the word scheduled caste. Okay, so there was a petition regarding government cannot notify, like if you want to identify some class of people, community of people in some way, then government cannot interfere there. However, Supreme Court has rejected the petition, saying this is not the most important time to assess that. Regarding this, we need to know that this notification was made by the Information and Broadcasting Ministry. Moving on to the next news, it is in news that Reserve Bank of India is transferring 28,000 crore rupees to the Government of India, and this will ease Government of India's target to achieve the fiscal deficit, which is 3.4 for this present fiscal. However, Reserve Bank is transferring the money to government on the basis of the objective that Reserve Bank acts as banker to government. But here we are going to discuss about the source of this authority. How can a Reserve Bank act as banker to the government? Well, Section 20 of 1934 Reserve Bank Act says that the Reserve Bank of India has obligation So it is obliged to undertake the receipts and payments of central government and carry out the remittances and exchanges on behalf of the government and other banking operation, including the management of the public debt. So public debt is managed by Reserve Bank of India. Remittances, exchanges, receipts and payment, they are all done by the Reserve Bank of India on behalf of Government of India, and this is their statutory obligation as per Section 20 of the 1934 Reserve Bank Act. Section 45 of the same Reserve Bank Act 1934 says that Reserve Bank can appoint scheduled commercial banks as agent to perform their duties. It can also transact through its own offices. So how can Reserve Bank act as the banker for the government? Directly through its own offices, as well as the scheduled commercial banks which are acting as agencies for the Reserve Bank of India. So all the public sector banks and some selected private banks are basically the agent of Reserve Bank of India. Now, if tax is paid in cash by any taxpayer, then that is collected through these agent banks and they provide some challan to the taxpayer. Okay, in this way, you take tax from the people, that is the receipts of the government, and Reserve Bank controls this and they transfer that amount to the Government of India fund. Center recently revised their fiscal deficit target at 3.4% for this fiscal. Reserve Bank transferred funds of rupees 28,000 crore will help central government attain this target of fiscal deficit 3.4% for this financial year. There is a small news that Kerala was the first state to have Price Monitoring and Research Unit, PMRU. Now Punjab and Gujarat have adopted this. So there are 3 states in India, Kerala, Punjab and Gujarat. They have Price Monitoring Research Unit. They are set up by the National Pharmaceutical Pricing Authority, NPCA, NPPA actually, this is not C, this is P. And this is in collaboration with the Department of Health and State Drug Controller. So this is not basically completely controlled by the Union government, rather this is Union government review and collaboration with the state government. Regarding PMRU, that is Price Monitoring and Research Unit, there are 4 main objectives: monitoring the notified prices of the medicines, detections of the violations of provisions of the Drug Prices Control Order, DPCO. Pricing compliances are set by this PMRU, Price Monitoring and Research Unit, ensuring availability of medicines. So there are 4 objectives to this PMRU. First of all, to monitor the notified prices of the medicine so that pricing compliance is reached, and then detection of the violation of provision of the Drug Prices Control Order, DPCO, and ensuring the availability of the medicines. So what is Drug Prices Control Order? Going back to 2013, this order was issued by the Government of India under Essential Commodities Act. So this is a statutory order which enables to fix prices of some essential bulk drugs and their formulations. So this is DPCO. So these are the important news for today. Let's have a wonderful study time and let's meet tomorrow again. Good night.